All right, also bringing you out to speed with a report here by the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights that reveals that 2,000 migrants in detention face several human rights violations, including restrictions in movement and deprivation of liberty through forced confinement. The report on the status of migrants in detention places and holding facilities in Kenya also paints a grim picture on how migrants face a blanket detention, including those in need of asylum services and victims of drug trafficking. The human rights body is calling for formulation of a policy to specifically outline procedures of dealing with migrants in detention. The Commission says it costs approximately 2 billion shillings to process migrants through criminal justice system, only to repatriate them.
And afterwards repatriate them to their countries of origin. Such as overstayed visas, lack of proper travel documentation, lack of work permits, but above all, the aspects of what they call illegal entry was the major thing. These amounts, whatever cost that goes into addressing aspects of migrants in detention places, can be a cost that can be saved to address different aspects of this country, including the Agenda 4, among others. The government should adopt a human rights-based approach, a perspective that will help us to look for alternatives to detention of migrants as a way of, one, helping the government to limit unnecessary liabilities that can emanate by virtue of human rights violations of migrants in our detention places and so on. For establishment of a standardized minimum safeguards compliant with the international human rights law that protect and guide the treatment of all migrants in the country, including the irregular migrants. 2, fulfill her obligation with regard to the different UN human rights conventions of upholding human rights for all, including the migrants. Stated there, these are the frontline duty bearers in our criminal. Our recommendation there is the need for development of alternative to detention guidelines. This will help us to provide alternative dispute mechanism, preferably address the challenges that occur with regard to the costing and the unstandardized practices on the criminal justice process or in handling a migrant and so on. So we need to have the guidelines for alternative to detention of migrants.